Anything that you are attached to, see if you can let go of that for just one day a week. It was almost 25 years ago when I lived in Baltimore City. And I lived in a neighborhood where there were a bunch of Orthodox Jews. And on Saturday mornings, I would see them walking around, and I was curious. I said, why are they walking? It's really cold outside. And I found out that they did not believe in igniting any sort of fire. It's part of their Sabbath. And so they refrained from getting into cars and because that is considered igniting a fire. And I thought, wow, this is such an interesting way to really honor the Sabbath and honor a day that is holy. And I know that many people don't believe in any sort of religion these days. Perhaps you might be spiritual rather than religious, or maybe you go to church on Sundays or a synagogue on Saturday, and you still do some sort of labor on Sunday or Saturday on that day. So, and certainly with our lifestyle, that a lot of times it's gone by the wayside. But what if we could engage in some practices every once in a while to really refrain from doing something in excess on Sundays? So really setting apart one day a week where you are doing something different. And so a lot of people take off, they'll take maybe a week off or even a month off, or maybe during Lent, they might give up social media. And that is very difficult in that regard. But what if you instead just said, okay, maybe on this day, I'm going to refrain from using social media. Or maybe on this day, I'm going to not use the internet. So rather than scrolling through your phone or scrolling through your computer, doing something mindless, perhaps using that for time of reflection, using that time for prayer, or using that time to really allow yourself to kind of be with yourself and get to know yourself a little bit better, rather than constantly allowing a stream of messages to come in. And it is just maybe one day a week. And maybe it'll start with just, I don't know, maybe an hour. I remember just not checking social media for an hour was a big challenge for me. And then I worked it up to like 2 hours, and then 4 hours. And eventually you get used to not obsessively checking your social media account. But this can happen with anything that you are attached to. See if you can let go of that for just one day a week, and allow yourself to really reflect on your relationship with that particular thing, your attachment to that particular thing. And then when you go back to your other days, you can just reaffirm your relationship and say, okay, I don't have to have this thing 7 days a week, but maybe I need to negotiate how it is that this thing is into my life, and what is the importance of this in the grander scheme of things. So just take maybe one day a week, start it again, practice just one day a week. Think about your relationship of something that you have maybe an uncontrollable attachment to. And again, this is just something that you might just mindlessly or obsessively engage in, a behavior or a device or something, and set a day where you're not engaging in that. And see if maybe you get yourself a little bit more in balance with that particular item or that particular behavior. So just see if that works for you. And if not, then just keep going at it.